All right, welcome back, guys. Little bit of a special episode here. We are gonna go try to do the daily climb again. If you've seen part one and part two of my first try, I absolutely butchered that second act. What I did was I used blasphemy, and that tripled my, which is always good. But what it does is at the end of the turn, you end up losing your life. It does max damage, and you will die unless you have the fairy in the bottle, which I did get save on the first floor that last time, but I didn't remember that flight on enemies negated half damage. So I had an enemy that had 12 health, and I had an enemy that had 18 health, and two cards that would do exactly 12 and 18 damage. I felt really confident about using Blast um, so that it would put it up to 12 and 18. What I forgot was that flight negates that damage down to half, so I was able to take out that front guy with 12 damage without a problem, but the guy in back, with that 18 health and the card that did 18 damage, flight negated that down to 9, and then the turn ended killing the Watcher. So huge misplay on my part there, but we are going to give this another try, maybe get a little bit further. Worst case scenario, I get a little bit of experience on the Watcher character, unlocking a couple of cards, relics, whatever that unlock does. I completely forget, but let's get this second try out of the way. The modifiers for today, as you can see here, is going to be shiny, which replaces the entire deck with rare cards, which is, as I said in the last try, a pain in the butt. It's hard to overcome. I kind of was getting a little bit of a rhythm towards the end of Act 1, going into Act 2 there with a couple cards that I picked up, but could not build a build around it. Maybe we might need to lean more into the next modifier, which is the green cards, which is the same as the silent, which is currently my favorite character. So if we lean a little further into that part of the build, we might be able to get something out of it. Start getting rid of some of those weird cards through the shops. Maybe we get a relic that allows us to take over like the toke, whatever that toke pipe was, where if you enter a rest site, you can get rid of cards. Maybe we start leaning into that, maybe not. We'll see how that plays out. And then we have deadly events, which is the question mark rooms can now contain elites, but also are more likely to contain treasure rooms. I like fighting elites. I have a pretty good understanding of how all the elites fight and how to fight them. Treasure rooms always pretty much have relics, so regardless of what we do, we can get a relic, take a little bit of damage, maybe not, but let's get in here with that second round. Not make that blasphemy mistake again. I'm going to stay away from. With that being said, blasphemy does have a really strong thing going for it. It triples your damage. That's amazing. It'll give you 3 power on top of tripling your damage. If you can end it in that turn, that's amazing. But it can also kill you in that turn if you're not paying attention, as I was. But we're going to go through here, see if we can't find some of those treasure rooms, which is those question mark rooms, the unknowns. The only caveat here is that there's no healing between those two elites. So if we hit an elite within these two unknown rooms side here, we could end up taking some serious damage. Then we'd have to hop over to that campfire maybe. I do like that shop there. Let's check up the right-hand side here. There's a couple of question mark rooms, then that campfire. So that's actually not bad considering, but I would like to have a shop somewhere on that right-hand side there. So no shop, but let's go ahead and go up that right-hand side because it is a little more leaning towards that that daily modifier. May be able to be helpful, maybe not. We could hit all 3 elites in those rooms and really just end this run purely off of bad RNG, or we could just green 3 really quick relics, hit that campfire, upgrade an item, and then just head on up. So we can do shops next floor, or next act, not next floor. I do like bullet time here. That's going to make all cards 0 cost, which Never going to complain about that. We do have that Master of Reality that allows for when cards are generated or created, just completely upgrade them. So a big one that I was using towards that last play there was the Storm of Steel. It takes all your cards away in your hand, replaces them with shivs. The shiv then gets upgraded through that Master of Reality, and that allows it to do 6 damage, if I remember correctly. So that was always kind of good. I did utilize that quite a bit. So I think that's what we're going to do, is do that bullet time that allows us to get the Diva form. We can retain that Miracle. Doppelganger can just kind of go to the wayside. So let's go ahead and get that bullet time in. Okay. We've got upgrade, Diva form for next time. Then we've got that die, which will take that guy out in front, dealing 13. Half the health of the guy up front. We are going to retain this Miracle into the next round. All right. So I guess we'll just show you here, since we have the chance with that Master Reality, is take all these shivs, normally would do 3 damage, and it's going to upgrade them, or 4 damage, going to upgrade them to 6. So the more cards you generate, the better. For right now, shivs are just kind of basic, but you can start generating some pretty serious cards. Upgrades get pretty good. Like I said, I do think I want to lean pretty hard into the green card rewards and just kind of build a silent-esque run and see what happens. Wish is, it's not bad. It could be pretty much free money, but I might go ahead and grab the plated from it just because it will help us later. Then we do have a 1-cost card here. Yeah, let's go ahead and set up the next round, allowing us to deal double damage. Next round, we do have the 6 plated, so we don't have the full 11 damage in. Alright, once again, we do have here, with the double damage, it would take it from 6 because of reality. Did I use reality yet? Or was that last turn? I have not used Master Reality, so it would be 8 damage 4 times. Not bad. So let's that. Maybe some poison, but overall not too bad. We're not taking any damage this turn, so not a huge misplay there. Let's go ahead and do Master Reality. We'll scroll because we would allow us to gain some more cards. We are getting 5 block, but we don't have a ton of block coming out. Yeah. Block. Let's do bullet time. Vault ends the turn, but it does skip its turn, so let's use the glass knife and kill it. Didn't realize its health was so low. At the start of your turn, scry 3. Look at the top X cards of your draw pile. You may discard any of them. I've been told that scry is good. You can get rid of some curses or just some cards you don't want this turn, but maybe in a low card build you can utilize that through refreshing and shuffling your hand. But we have such a huge deck that I can't utilize that properly, or can't think of a way to utilize that properly. Okay, Master Reality is always good just to throw out up front. This will allow us to do damage next turn, and then this allows us to do a card swap next turn. So we want to discard Corpse Explosion because that doesn't have. Okay, so this potion allows us to enter Calm or Wrath. Do we choose, or does it just choose for us? Let's see. It does let us choose. So when you enter Calm, it doesn't do anything. It's when you get out of the stance. So I don't have any cards that exit my stance as far as I'm aware. But if I use Wrath, it does double my damage in and out. Let's gamble here. I already failed once, so let's gamble. This will allow me to do intangible, which will negate any damage coming in, so that'll at least stop me from getting killed. Alright, let's work on Envenom. That'll prepare us for later. And I can only retain miracle cards, so no point making 0 -1 because that's not going to happen. I do want to get rid of Vault. I'll go with the Alchemy because I love having random potions. Do want to go ahead, gain some energy. That'll allow us to... I just need damage. So let's build this damage. Why am I attacking so hard? Wrath, that's right. Oh, I am... Okay, and then let's kill it. Adds 2 miracles to your hands. Yeah, that's never a bad thing. Doubles poison. I do like my 0-cost cards. So we are going to go up to the right-hand side here. Try to use that. Hopefully we don't interact with too many legend. This will give us a doubt, but it's fine. We'll just get rid of it whenever we get up to a shop or something. Okay, we do have combat, which isn't terrible, but we definitely need to make sure that we aren't using blasphemy first thing, number 1. Number 2, try to get some of this damage out. If we vault, it just ignores theirs, so try to think at the start of your turn, draw a card and get rid of a card, not too concerned about it. Whenever a card's retained. This turn, your next skill is played twice. Let's vault. Hopefully we can get better cards. Which we did. We don't have any block. Okay. But that'll at least allow us to make that damage. And that's Conjure Blade, so that doesn't mean anything. Okay. I could have used the Bottle Miracle, but I'm kind of saving that for an elite fight just in case we might need it. If its health is less than 30, it sets it to 0, so let's go ahead and get that guy down in the back. Free potion here, which is an upgrade all item, or all cards. Let's hope we get a good combat card. Okay, so this would... So we can do 2... allows us to have only 2 left. What that's going to do is then allow us to do less and upgrade a random card, which it's free. 2 cards. I'm at stances, 9 damage exiting stance, 8 damage and drawing a card. Yeah, well, just lean into that green. Obtain a gold idol and trigger a trap. I don't need the... So, do we anger the mushrooms or do we... Let's go ahead and anger the mushrooms. I don't need to get rid of one of them. Beyond that, Corpse Explosion could be good should I get any of my poison cards, which let's just hope that we do. We do have the After Image, which is always great. A miracle that'll allow us to attack next time, dealing double. Not a up there, but we should be okay. We should be able to heal before we get into too many crazy fights. Alright, Blasphemy is good. It would make it to where we could deal some damage if I had damage to deal. So let's go ahead and throw these 2 miracles. We can get some wish for money. Yeah, let's do money. Because I'm going to use this scroll to be able to draw some more cards. And hopefully storm this guy down to the point to where he'll die next turn, guaranteeing that the other 2 die too, which we are good because we are able to take 25 Beyond that, we do have Cloak and Dagger here, which I'm gonna go ahead and grab that Master Reality. It will allow us to... Last time we were able to get through Act 1 without a problem. Hopefully we can get through more than just Act 1 here. And not kill myself. We had this last time, which is the White Beast statue. Potions always appear in the combat rewards, so can't complain. Thief, let's see if we can't get this guy just taken out immediately. We will apply a vulnerable just because I want this. Okay. After image is always good, but I'm not going to be playing a ton of cards. So I would rather do that for damage next time. You know what? Let's go ahead. Just trying to build up some defenses there. I'm not taking a full 10. 26 damage is really, really gonna hurt. So let's throw that out. And then we are going to just try to hit him one more time. There we go. Alright. Let's get our money back that he stole. Attack potion is always good. Concentrate, that is free damage, so I love my free cards. Alright, we do have a pretty good amount of health here. So let's go ahead and go after the elite to guarantee a relic, because I am not doing great on the relics. After image is just going to allow us to gain defense through the entire match. Beyond that, I would like to get the Diva form, so let's grab that so that I can gain more energy every time. We can upgrade next turn, since those miracles will upgrade with it. And that'll allow us to gain 2 energy per miracle. At the start of your turn, draw 1 card, discard. Next turn, draw... that would be 4 cards with 4 energy. Corpse Explosion doesn't mean anything. So let's... draw discard. We can scroll. Free. I'm just trying to use up what I can here. Because I do want to go ahead and use Doppelganger. I believe I want to go ahead and use it. Or I can just use the Storm. Let's pop those 2. And then do that. Then let's just random attack. This will conclude. There we go. Okay. So not too bad. I just want to gain that extra power for next turn, so that allows me to utilize the majority of these cards. I do have to discard a card. Intangible's good because it'll allow me to not take damage. That's 25 damage. That's only 13, so. Okay. I want to use the miracle. We'll throw the wish just so we can grab some. Honestly, money is not a big deal. Let's grab strength so we can guarantee kill this elite. 1,000 cuts will allow us to deal 1 damage to all enemies every time we play a card, so that's just extra damage. I want to try to use that last. Just in case we get its health low enough. Okay, this is 13. So we're not gonna get quite low enough, but we will get to the point where we can do some pretty good damage to it. Okay. So this is where Blasphemy would be okay, considering the fact that we would guarantee a kill on this guy, but I don't want to use Blasphemy right now. There we go. Alright, for the relic we get 25 HP health when we get to the boss, the floor boss. Follow-up is nice. That does apply weak though. Sucker Punch can be pretty helpful with that weakness. Alright, we've got some damage coming in, so let's go ahead and pop that after image so that we can try to mitigate as much as we can. Okay, we can apply that weakness so that we cover all of that damage. And let's actually do that as well. So now here could be a time to use Blasphemy properly, because I don't think I can output 26 damage right now, because that's 16. Yeah, so this would be the time to use Blasphemy to our advantage. Because what that's going to do is going to triple the damage, so we're capable of doing significant more damage, killing this guy, ending the turn, and we also get a upgrade because of the Lessons Learned card. So, Spirit Shield, that's cool. I'm not pulling that often. Once again, let's lean into the green cards. Oh, that's a random discard. You know, I'm not opposed to the random discards right now. We are okay on health, but not great. So let's go ahead and heal up here, since this health isn't going to get us this next campfire might. We do have an elite battle, which isn't bad. Just trying. Sorry, I'm fully concentration here. Explosion. I'm going to try to apply poison to the guy in the back so that it kills the other two up front. I'm just trying to be very smart and methodical about it so that I don't have any issues with the way that I'm playing these cards, because that rare shiny modifier is really making it difficult for me to think through all these problems. But we do have a couple of options here. This will allow us to gain energy next turn, and I can just continuously gain energy as I need with these miracles. Deal 8 damage twice. So we want to go ahead and get this guy down as far as we can so that when we do get the chance to apply poison, we are able to take it out. We don't have a ton of block, which is not great, so we'll go ahead and throw that potion there. So yeah, that blocks all damage. I really need to get a poison card out there. With 35 in my draw pile, though, I am not thinking it's going to work too well. Yeah, not great. Maybe, no poison cards. So, not a great play here. I could go ahead and start kind of wailing on these guys up front until one shows up, which is probably what I'm going to do. Alright, let's take this guy down. I might want to go ahead and use this miracle to pop this lesson learned over to here. That just upgrades that random card. It also takes away the guys attacking, so that we only get the dazed in our inventory. So I'm pretty happy with that one. Whether or not it's going to pay off, I'm not sure, because we did not, once again, get a poison card. This, though, would allow me to pick a poison card and use that card twice. Okay, so now if the enemy is at 30 health or lower, it just boom, done. Okay, so maybe that's the course of action here, to take the guy down in the front. I am going to take 5 damage, and then he'll die this turn. So not the way I wanted it to, but also not a terrible one. Okay, so I did learn that Vault doesn't activate my poison, so free money there, and let's just go ahead and do that. So yeah, I expected Vault to end the turn and activate my poison, but it did not. So apparently the poison is activated on the start of the enemy's turn. We did just get the fairy in a bottle, which will heal us when we die, which is always good. I've utilized that potion more times than I would like to admit. On that, we were able to get completely healed up. Alright, don't like seeing Blasphemy there right at the beginning of a boss fight. We are going to, however, gain strength because that's going to allow us to have that extra attack throughout the combat encounter. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Storm here because of that increased damage. I want to use that for my shivs, then we can outmaneuver for more energy next time. We can also gain burst, which will help us in the next, because I don't have any way of defending myself through these cards, which I've noticed is a big thing about Shiny, is that I'm just not gaining a lot of block cards. So maybe need to lean into that going into the next couple acts of getting those block cards. So this won't kill us, but it definitely would take off about half our health, which took out right at half. I have not seen what the Alpha, Beta, Omega does. That could be something interesting, if not completely detrimental, but for this kind of work, I think it would benefit us. We are going to play weakness here and mitigate some of that damage. We will do the retain. I'm not really retaining any cards that need energy, but you never know. It's a good habit to build for this run. Then we can go ahead and do some damage there. So, not a great one. Like I said, we don't have a lot of defense cards, which is really starting to hurt us. This is a good one for defense, and then we can still put out some damage. Starting to hurt. Starting to really, really hurt. But we'll get there. We will definitely get there. We've got an alchemy, which gives us thorns. I'll go ahead and throw that on now. Then we do have that concentrate. Just kind of does the damage. That only did 5 damage to all enemies. Yeah, so it is damage. If the enemy has 30 or less, it sets it to 0. It doesn't do damage though, which is kind of weird. Especially since I have two energy and nothing to do with them. The shiny deck, it's really bothering me. I can't get a good build off the ground with it. We will go ahead and grab Adrenaline to do our best to pull in some of these good cards. We do have a bullet time, which gives us that omniscience, which will allow us to choose a card to gain and play it twice. So I know this is going to be really weird, but I think I might go ahead and play Beta twice. Because it looks like Omega, at the end of your turn, you deal 50 damage to all enemies. If I can proc that twice in one go, that's 100 damage to this elite. Which could be useful. But we're going to go ahead and just kind of throw all the cards out here in a random order, just because I don't have anything that needs to be in a specific order on this one. That artifact is fine. Bottle is just going to save us. Yeah, let's end the turn. Nothing we can really do here. Okay. I was hoping to pull Omega here. We can do some poison. Grand Finale doesn't do anything, so let's do Envenom. We can then poison and get pretty close to dying and hopefully pull that Omega this next turn. Have enough energy for it and capable of taking out this guy. So non-attack cards. It does discard all non-attack cards to deal its damage. So we want to do our best to activate these cards, then this one. Then we have the Omega damage going out. We are going to die here, but that Fairy in the bottle will save us, which is kind of what it's designed for, to save me on my boss fights. Beyond that, we do have the Omega Plus again, which will take him out. So, not bad. I do like that Alpha, Beta, Omega play. Kind of costly and takes time to set up, but it did pay off. So, let's see what kind of card we have here. And no, I do not want any of those. Rare cards have been a pain in my butt. Gain strength, but we grab energy. Bosses in elite combat, you gain strength. Miracles. Yeah, let's go ahead and add those miracles. It's been really nice. So, once again, we have a run that allows us to pure water into holy water. So, not bad, not bad. So, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up Act 1 here. We will come back for an Act 2 and not kill myself for me, as well as the ability to try to get through Act 2, then into Act 3 possibly, and beat this daily, get better score than last. If you please leave a like. If you really enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, and if you have any tips, tricks, or comments, leave them down below and I will read them and do my best to implement them into my playstyle. Like I said, I am still learning and I am very much so open to criticism. So guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next time. See ya.